This will be Thursday, November 6th. We're going to take a look at the book report and the homework and the information that's on there. And let's see, blah blah, book report, blah blah, bringing shoes, blah blah, entry on the homework side. For the homework, I'm going to borrow you. Thank you, it's so sweet of you. On here, read the directions. I've changed up direction or option 2 and option 3 just a little bit. But it's enough that if you don't read the directions, you'll end up getting a 0 on the homework and have to stand and be all mad at me. So make sure you read what the directions say. The biggest change is there are certain stories you have to choose when you do those options. And you have to label which stories they're coming from. So make sure you know which stories they're coming from and then make sure you label them. If you do that, then you should be good. You can do extra options for extra B points if you want. That's absolutely fine with me. Or you only have to do one option. If you do 2 options, it gets you the extra points. You can do all 3 options, it gets you even more B points. It's all up to you from there. All the questions are going to come from the story you have to read for tomorrow. Make sure you read the handout from yesterday. I will send out a Remind 101 tonight, but if you don't read the story and you show up tomorrow, you will not have time to take the quiz and read the story. You'll just have to sit there and cry, and then I will dance upon your tears. Same thing with reading the directions as far as the homework goes. Make sure you understand what you're doing for that, because if you show up Tuesday when it comes due and you've not followed the directions, then all I can do is dance upon your tears. Eddie.
So the test is about the story, but like, is it going to be like the 7 elements and like the rising act and stuff like that?
The magic lens?
No.
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 No. Like the test tomorrow. It's
The quiz tomorrow.
After,
after
20 years.
Do you see those? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So on the test,
Yes.
it's going to be like the 7
7
element
elements?
type stuff?
Yes. Be very similar to the questions you see in front of you.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Schumacher.
So the quiz I was talking about, is that the one from last week?
No.
Man, I wish there were directions right in front of you. You could just read to find information.
I know, I remember what quiz it was.
Man, if only there were a calendar right in front of you that you could turn your head to match these things up. Thanks for giving me the chance to make fun of you. We bonded. Now, as far as the book report goes, on the green sheet, hopefully you've already put your name on it. Good job, kids. I'm mostly proud of for that part. Then, the due date is due December 17th, which is the Wednesday before we leave for winter break. My goal is to not give you homework over winter break, unless you just do the book report. This book report is easier, is the good news, than the previous one. The bad news is, there's no real opportunity to get like extra credit or extra B points on it. It's just, that's the drawback to being easier, is that it's easier. There's not a whole lot of extra stuff to it. 2 sides to the little piece of paper. You've got the side with all the boxes on it that you put your name on it. That's going to be the grading rubric, so you can take a look at that to know how I'm going to be grading it. The other side with all the words on it are going to be the directions. I highly recommend reading the directions because I'm not covering all of them. What you're going to be doing, the simplified directions, you're going to be taking a square piece of paper, 12 inches by 12 inches. That's what makes it square. You can get one for me for 5 B points or for a quarter, or you can go out and get your own. It can be larger if you want. If it's smaller, it does cost you points. Once you have your square piece of paper, you are going to fold it so it has 4 little flaps on each corner. The directions at the beginning of the thing tells you how to fold it to get those 4 little flappy things in case you're confused. Once you have the 4 little flappy things that go into it, each flap is going to be labeled. One says characters, one says plot setting, one says plot, one says conflicts. You're going to use the 7 elements of a short story. We've now applied them to a short story. We've now applied them to a TV show. We're now going to apply them to a novel. And you're going to take those 7 elements and apply them to a novel. And you're going to go through there and tell me the characters in your story, the when and wheres of the story, the plot, everything that happens in the story. And you're going to go through and tell me the internal and external conflicts and why they're important to the story. Then, in the middle of it, you're going to draw 2 scenes from the rising action of the story. Not parts of the characters, not the setting, scenes of the rising action. Something that's going to be important and fun and exciting. And you're going to put those 2 scenes in there. That's it. That's all you're doing for this book report. My goal is for it to be easier on you. 2 things. 1, I'm not grading you on how good of a drawerist you are. If you're not a very good drawerist, it's okay. As long as you put effort and work into it, I'm good with it. I even have kids who's like, can we do the drawing on a computer? You can do the drawing on a computer. As long as you show effort into the drawing on a computer, then that's fine with me. A lot of times kids lose points on that because they just do black background, white dot, stars, done. Then yes, that's going to cost you points. You're a slacker. But as long as you put effort into it, I'm fine with that. 2 separate scenes. Can you use stick figures? Of course! What do you do with the stick figures?
Put clothes on them.
Make sure they're not naked. Put clothes on them. Mr. Brovicast is a scene in my book where they're naked. That's creepy. Don't you ever. In that case, you probably should not choose that particular scene. Mr. Brovicast is part of my book. Some of you are reading big kid adult books now. I'm proud of you. Go you. That's such a big step. But choose wisely with what you put in the pictures. Now, I don't care. If there's violence in your book, that's fine. Like, Mr. Brovicast, they kill zombies. I have a zombie head going. That's fine. And the same thing with that. If there's naked stuff in your book, it's fine. Ish. Just be choosy with what you put in the pictures, and then you should be good. How long does the information have to be on the flaps? Good question. It's in the directions. It tells you how long each flap has to be. Here's the bad news. That information on there is for a minimum grade of a C to a B. So if you just do what's listed on there, you're aiming for a C to a B. So if you want to go higher than a C to a B, then you have to give me more information. So go higher than that. That's just the minimum amount to try and help you out from there. You can either type it up or you can handwrite it. Most likely you're not going to fit everything perfectly into a little triangle, so it's up to you to get creative, and you can make like multiple pages and flappy triangles, or have it unfold, have it fold into a giant duck, or whatever works for you. That's fine with me. I think that creativity up to you. I have examples on my website. I have examples over here you're welcome to look at that should give you some idea of what you're supposed to do. Jackson. Good stuff.
No, I got it.
Any other
Forget
questions?
my question.
Yay! My other warning to you is do not either choose a book that's going to take you a long time to read, or put off your reading. Because when we come back from Thanksgiving break, we start a novel that we're going to be finishing before winter break. So we're going to be reading a book together that we're going to go through in like 2.5 weeks. That we're going to read the entire book, have quizzes, tests, discussions, and stuff like that. So we're going to be packing a whole lot into it. So if you put off this until the very end, then you're going to be reading 2 novels at the same time. So I don't recommend that, but if you want the challenge, more power to you. So I'm letting you know now, your goal should be able to finish your book by Thanksgiving. So if you can finish your book by Thanksgiving, you should be good to go. If you're waiting till after that, it's fine with me, but realize that you're going to be reading 2 books at the same time. Schumacher? That's a good question. Good thing it's right behind me. Once again, right in front of you. You ask the best questions every time. Hi, I'm Mr. Brovicast. My name is over here on the wall.
Well, I think it's because you know how you change it to people you're surrounded by, so I think I'm changing it to Lily.
She's nowhere near you, but that was a good try.
I talk to her all the time.
That would be your choice. Yes.
I actually have proof of this. We asked Lily how to spell because, and she goes B-E-S. Okay?
Fascinating.
So then
Wait,
Caleb.
hold that. Any other questions as far as the book report goes? When we head over to the library, you're going to take all your stuff with you, and you're going to go over there, put the board stuff at the table. They have a survey that you're going to spend most of the time working on. Once you finish the survey, you're more than welcome to look for a book. If you have a book, once you finish the survey, bring it up to me. Congratulations, we're done.